You found yourself on your back. There was a close call there in that first match. Tell me what you remember from that. If you were ever worried, oh my God, I might get pinned here, and then what you saw maybe after you watched it.
Yeah, I do remember freaking out for a second because I think if he would have really jumped up and tried to like get a reverse half, it would have been a tough battle off my back. But he didn't capitalize on my mistake, and I just kind of rolled back. It ended up being two, but that was it. Like I was never for a split second. I was like, man, if he jumps up right here, I'm in trouble. But before I know, it's back on my stomach. I was like, oh well, he missed his opportunity. Missed his opportunity on that one. But I do remember that. It wasn't. I was never like. I was just rolling across my back for a second. But I was expecting him to wrestle into that position. But he really just he missed his shot.
Yeah, because the ref like kind of he didn't come all the way up, but he thought about.
I don't know what that's about. That's way too fast of a call. If he would have called that, I mean, that wasn't even. I was there for maybe a quick roll or two. But I was
Yep.
like. No, they shouldn't have. They made the right call. They shouldn't have called a pin.
Yeah, he didn't. He almost you could see he thought about it. He was like, shit. Okay. And then I think it was the end of the period. So maybe that was a good time for that to happen because you can go to the break and catch your breath and regroup.
They're just excited. They're really excited to be out there with us. We do a lot of bricks though.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
gonna
another.
lie. Some of those calls, I was like, I I didn't I don't know. There was a lot of those calls that did not seem very up in the air because they just announced the new rule change for the push it out of bounds. Like it doesn't matter what you're doing. And when I pushed him out and he ran behind, they're like, oh, that's two. I'm like, 100% a push out. They just clarified this in the rule book,
Right.
and so a lot of that stuff I was kind of like. That's not an iffy call. And then whenever I had that, he tried to do that little wizard, and I did that plan. Whenever he spins out of it, I jump into him, and he exposed, and I didn't, and they didn't give me that. I'm like, we shouldn't have to be challenged in these calls. I get it, no one's perfect, but that was kind of I just don't get frustrated by the rest very much, and I didn't understand why those are just a lot of weird calls. But we never lost the challenge because I mean I earned those points every single time, so it
Sure.
happened the right way
How
in the
about
end.
this? It's crazy that they change the rules so often, and it's so like, and I'm sure your coach gets them and gives them to you guys right away, and everybody understands. But like, not everybody, the fans don't all know this, and it's almost like week to week, or I don't know how often they change the rules, but they change them often, and they may change again before the World Championships. Small, subtle rules like the one you described about going out of bounds. What are your thoughts on that? Not that you have any control over it, but just like that doesn't happen in big sports, I don't think. NFL and Major League
I
Baseball. And
I think there's seasons of rule changes. Since we just saw the new push out rule with grounding, I think there's a lot of gray areas that need to be clarified. So since that was considered a pretty big rule change, the
yes,
grounding out of bounds now. And so now with that, there's a lot of situations that are being wrestled that are like, oh, well, like, is this considered grounding? Is this? And so I think for the next couple months or even the next, probably the next year, you're going to see them like, okay, these are some gray areas we've verified that we need to make sure we're being consistent about. So I like it because then they make less gray area, so that we feel confident when we're challenging or not challenging. Because if there's like a gray area, it's like, well, I don't know if it's worth it or not. Like we could be giving up a point, but if I know 100%, like in those challenges, I'm like, yes, challenge, 100%, yes. I know this is my point. Do it. Like that feels good. And so I kind of like that they're doing that. And I don't know if us just world team members have the advantage, but they do a really good job, Coach Bill Zadek and Coach Joe Russell, at telling us immediately. And they'll like say, hey, this just got sent out, and here's the rules. Look it over. And I mean, I know they send that to me and us because I've been on the world team at the national team, but I feel like they do send that stuff out. Just my people might just not pay attention to it, which it can be annoying. I get it, but it has our best intention in mind, and I think it's better to have more clarity than not much clarity.
great answer. For this specific rule, we're talking about
Thank
the
you
new out of bounds
so much.
rule. Yeah. Beyond the grounding, the one that just got implemented like a week or two ago. How did you get that from Bill because you're on the national team? Did you get that from David or Lee Roper or like how do you get this
Lee Roper.
information?
It gets sent to me in an email too, but our coaches do a great job at doing that stuff for us because they need to know it too when they teach.
Right.
So they'll tell us like, hey, this is a little bit, this is what this is about. This is the new rule change, and so in that situation, they're like, yeah, that was 100%. I'm like, yeah, like, and part of it's too. Even if I disagree with the challenge, I trust them more than I trust myself. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they know what they're doing. But Coach Hopper, he does a great job at making sure everyone is updated on new rule changes and stuff to watch out for.
Okay. And I'm going to talk to our producer real quick. Nikki, if you can pull up the video Wyatt 2. I want to take a look at this and we'll talk about it here in a second, Wyatt. But when you hear about new rules, is Roper telling you one-on-one, or is he talking to like the 3 or 4 guys who are going to be wrestling that day? Or is it at practice telling everybody?
It's at practice telling everybody because we want to make sure we're practicing, I mean, accurately, I guess. Like it's not so much scoring, but when we do a lot of position work in wrestling, and we do a lot of edge work, and we need to make sure we know the ruling, so we're not practicing something that's not in our favor. We'll be giving up a point. So it's at practice. He tells the whole RTC, everyone at practice, just updates and what's going on.
Yeah. Obviously, you like these reviews because you're getting points and they're going in your favor. But as far as the rhythm of a match, describe how the stoppages maybe come into play.
Um, I prefer if there weren't any. I prefer to just, I mean, of course, everyone wishes the refs were correct 100% of the time, but it's kind of a nice little moment to go to the coach's corner. And we always take it worst case scenario. Like the coach will be like, hey, like, you're probably going to get this, but if you don't, this is the score. This is what you need to do. And so we're always, the right call isn't always the one that's made either. So we're like, hey, this doesn't go your way. Get ready to attack this leg and go after it. And so, um, yeah, kind of brain farted right there. 'Cause I was thinking about like when I looked at Coach, and that's exactly Coach Roper was like, "Hey, you're gonna get this," and Coach Taylor was like, "Well, just in case he doesn't, though, like Roper, what do you think?" And he's like, "Yeah, hit that right side leg." So
Yeah. I think there was one time it ended up 7-6, but could have been like 9-4 or 9-5 or something. So kudos to your coaches on those challenges. Now, I think we got this video ready, and I want to watch this. It's like a scramble, I think, in match 2, but I was just so impressed that you didn't expose. And Nikki, if you want to play that, yeah, we just kind of nice and stutter. He's in, and the fact that you didn't expose, just talk me through this maybe. Here especially.
I do not see.
Oh, you don't see what's going on? All right. Technical difficulties here, but he took a shot, came out the back door. You planted on your hand. You put your head face on the mat. He's swimming around behind. You know the sequence I'm talking about, and I think he got.
So. That's my.
Go ahead.
Oh, here we go. I see it now.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me what you're seeing and thinking in the moment.
Yeah, I remember this sequence. That's where I popped my knee right there. It did not feel good.
Oh, you popped your knee there.
Yeah, that's where I hurt my knee in the match. I'm fine. I'm not really
Okay.
that hurt. I'll be totally fine. But that's for a second. Yeah, I don't really remember that too much because I was sitting there and my knee kind of popped and I went like I kind of yelled for a second. And I kind of went limp, and I think Mason might have got a little bit lazy. But we practiced far ankle. Actually, I think of that. My instincts are pretty good. We like start almost at least once or twice a week. We start a practice doing far ankle drill, and you literally start grabbing an ankle and then just feel it out and just start rolling around. So I think my instincts kind of kicked in there, like wait for him to hop over, and I just scoot underneath. So kind of got to give props to Coach Taylor and teaching us a lot of far ankle work. But I mean, that's the type of stuff that we do at practice because those are situations you find yourselves in matches, like we just saw.
So would you say you've felt that situation before? You've been in that exact or similar scrambles, maybe every day. I don't know.
Oh, absolutely, and I know that's true because I don't really remember doing that. I just did it instinctually. So it's kind of those habits you build. It's like that muscle memory. Like when I'm out there wrestling, I shouldn't have to think. And yeah, it was definitely instinctual because I'm like, I don't remember doing that, but I remember I did come out on top. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, but then again, this could have been a time that was nice for a review because if you dinged your knee, you got a second to walk it off during the review. Maybe that's,
Yeah.
a positive. And then the end of the match too, at the end of the series, I think he's got you out the back door, whatever, the whistle blows and he goes and hits a lace afterwards. And, there was a little extracurriculars. And as I kept on watching, I watched it again, and you saw Mason look up at the ref, and he's either a good actor or he was sincere, and he was kind of like, he did one of these, and he said, you thought he heard the whistle?
At this level, you have an internal clock. I know he was like, "Oh, I didn't hear a whistle," but when I completely stop wrestling and go limp, I think it's fair to say if the match is over. I personally think he did it on purpose. I don't really believe him that he didn't hear the clock or something. The way I reacted, like if it was still time on the clock, I would have still been wrestling to that position. That's kind of why I got pissed off because I did stop, and he did too for a second, and then he just like ripped my knee once. I'm like, all right, what the heck? And then he did it again, and then my knee got caught, and so I wanted to punch him in the face, but I don't do that stuff. So I just gave him a little smack, just like, hey, let go. But it's whatever. I personally don't think that was an accident. I think it was on purpose, but I'm fine. Doesn't matter. I won 2 matches in a row. It's my spot. It's always gonna be my spot. So, oh well. Not too upset about it.
Okay. Was that the same knee you hurt prior in the match?
Yes. That's why I was pissed.
Sure.
Because I was like, all right, let go of my knee.
Yeah. Okay, but you said earlier in this, so you're fine, your knee's okay, and whatever. 2 days later.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I'm walking. I'll be back on the mat and probably tomorrow. It's not an injury, just one of those like, that really hurt. But I'm not actually. It's not too serious.
Hurt, not injured, right? There's a difference.
Exactly. I'm just hurt. I'm not injured.